Shall we pray? Our Father and our God, from whom all blessings flow, we acknowledge your goodness towards us at the Montserrat Secondary School. God, in this 80th year of existence, we appreciate the fact that you've kept the institution for all these years, educating the nation's children. And many years we've had occasions like these, and we are forever grateful for this institution known as the Montserrat Secondary School. Today, Lord God, we come again, and we thank you for the year that has passed, which is climaxing, is at an end. A year filled with many challenges, various experiences, yet you have allowed us to see this another graduation ceremony. 2019. Lord, we thank you for all who have played major parts throughout the year and bringing us to this point. Thank you, O God, for the management and the entire staff of the Montserrat Secondary School, the safety officers, the lunch providers, the cleaners, the bus drivers, the parents, the family members, the entire Ministry of Education, and all who have played a major part here in the Montserrat community. We thank you. Lord, we bring this ceremony to you, and we thank you for this year's cohort. Through the various challenges, you have allowed us to see this day. We pray, oh God, that they'll be mindful of what they would have been taught, not just for the past year, but for the past 5 years at the institution. We pray that something that would be said and done in this ceremony today would help them to continue to believe and to dream and to achieve excellence as they continue on this pathway. We ask your divine benediction upon the proceedings, and that things would go well, decently, and in order, that in the end, O God, your name would be glorified, and that the institution would continue from strength to strength. So we commit into your hands this ceremony. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. You may be seated.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the principal, management, staff, and pupils of the Montserrat Secondary School, I wish to extend a warm welcome to all and to say thank you for gracing us with your presence at today's ceremony. It is my privilege to present to you the chairperson for this evening's proceedings. Our chair holds a bachelor's degree in statistics from the University of the West Indies, Mona campus. She is currently employed at the Statistics Department as a statistician and takes pleasure in executing her duties on a daily basis with excellence. She was born in the nature island, Dominica, but has adopted Montserrat as her home, having moved here almost 16 years ago. She is a mother of a remarkable 11-year-old young man who will be joining the Montserrat Secondary School student body in September 2019. She has an avid passion for astronomy and languages and is fluent in French and Spanish. She enjoys reading articles on current affairs as she believes it is important to always keep abreast of your surroundings, whether near or far. In her leisure time, she enjoys beach days with her son and conversations with her family, being from a very family-oriented background. She also has a passion for pageantry and is a former Miss Montserrat. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as I now invite to the stage Miss Jasmine Jean-Baptiste. Ms. Jean-Baptiste, please permit me to establish the protocol for this evening's proceedings. Your Excellency, Acting Governor, Mrs. Linda Simpson, and Mr. Simpson, the Honorable Premier, Mr. Donaldson Romeo, the Honorable Minister of Communications, Works and Labor, Mr. Paul Lewis, the Honorable Financial Secretary, Mr. Colin Owen and Mrs. Owen, Pastor Tony Allen, and other members of the clery, members of the Public Service Commission, Permanent Secretary of Education, Mr. Colin Fergus and Mrs. Fergus, other permanent secretaries, Commander of the Royal Montserrat Defense Force, Major Alvin Ryan, Director of Education, Mr. Gregory Julius, Principal of the Montserrat Secondary School, Mrs. Sherilyn Hogan, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, parents, teachers, graduating class of 2019, I will now hand over this evening's proceedings to our most capable chair, Ms. Jean-Baptiste.
Thank you very much, Katira. With protocol already established, Principal Hogan, members of the school board, teachers, parents and guardians, distinguished guests, graduates, good afternoon. It is my honor to deliver these brief remarks and to be a part of the 2019 graduation ceremony of the Montserrat Secondary School. This occasion celebrates the achievement and well-deserved pride of this year's graduating class. To our graduates, we applaud you. We thank God, through whom all things are possible. We acknowledge the parents, as proud and nervous now as when MSS welcomed them, the children, not the parents, just 5 years ago. In that relatively short time, much has changed. We recognize and are grateful for the contribution of our dedicated teachers. We thank dear friends for all their encouragement and support throughout this journey. Collectively, we say to the graduating class of 2019, celebrate this milestone and tread confidently onward to even greater achievements in years to come. I am not a past pupil of the Montserrat Secondary School. My connection to the institution is through employment there as a laboratory technician from July 2005 to October 2009. My lab tech duties were augmented with other interesting experiences and challenges which have profoundly influenced my personal and professional development since. During my tenure, I would sometimes substitute for the science teachers or simply observe them in the practice of their craft. Their passion and dedication of the subject informed my interest even more, which I now see reflected in my son's love for science and discovery. MSS also gave me the opportunity to engage my passion for languages. Interacting with the Hispanic students who came to an English-speaking environment with unfamiliar customs and surroundings was a defining experience for me. Helping these students transition to their new surroundings, settle in and gain confidence in speaking the English language, while improving my own fluency in Spanish was truly satisfying. Before long, I was Principal Hogan's personal translator whenever the need arose. I still remember her warm smiles and her thank yous. Those went a very long way. I am often transported back to those times when past students to whom I had given assistance reach out via social media or chance encounters, never forgetting to show gratitude. Graduates, as you prepare to leave this institution, new and complex challenges will test your determination. There will be late nights, setbacks, and even seemingly insurmountable obstacles in your path. At times like those, reflect on the joy of this day. Take courage and know that all impediments can be overcome, as have been overcome today. Remember the patience and encouragement of your teachers, the rivalries with colleagues, your will to succeed, and surely you will again don the robes and take the stage. Just remember, a body in motion tends to remain in motion. As long as you give your best, you will succeed in all your endeavors. Class of 2019, I want to say to you, as you progress in life, your education and your career, You will be tempted to judge yourself against others, but it is important not to judge where you are, but where you have come from and how far you have come. Where am I from? It is an essential question to be answered in life. It will define your success and it will define your happiness. When you know where you are from, you will understand that it is your blessing from the architect of the universe, and you will realize how uniquely perfect you are. I urge you to put your best foot forward. Believe in yourself. Be humble. Aim higher and live your dreams. As you move forward and look back at your journey thus far, always remember the people who have influenced you along the way. Your family, your teachers and mentors are just as important, and your fellow students, especially the class of 2019, who have been with you from the start and will always share the experience. In the meantime, savor the moment, and I will leave with you a noteworthy quote from Mahatma Gandhi. A man is but the product of his thought. What he thinks is what he becomes. Graduating class of the Montserrat Secondary School 2019, congratulations. Thank you. We will now invite Mrs. Shirley Hogan, Principal, to the podium to deliver this year's Principal Report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Her Excellency, the Acting Governor, Honorable Premier, Honorable Members of Parliament, the media, ladies and gentlemen, graduates, please allow me to adopt the full order of protocol that has been established for this graduation ceremony and to which our distinguished Chairperson has concurred. Madam Chair, I am pleased to present the report for the Montserrat Secondary School for the 2018-2019 academic year. This report will focus mainly on the academic performance and skill sets of our students. This 2018-2019 academic year presented a number of significant challenges which affected the very core of the institution, as it significantly impacted the teaching-learning environment and the well-being of both students and teachers. The very high spirits exhibited by both staff and students on the first day of school in this, the 80th anniversary of the Montserrat Secondary School, heightened by the comprehensive history of our great institution, were all but extinguished on the second day of school, when we were informed that blocks L and M, which housed 6 classroom spaces, 2 science laboratories, and a clothing and textile room, were deemed to be unsafe and had to be evacuated with immediate effect. There was no immediate resolution for housing for these displaced classes. However, solutions were identified, and most of the classes were accommodated at the Montserrat Community College and the Pupil Support Unit. The staff room was also used for classes, along with any available classroom space during the course of the day, while the building construction workshop was converted to a science lab. A tent, which was on loan from the Montserrat Arts Council, provided shelter for some displaced students and housed some classes during term 1. Hearty thanks to the good efforts of the Montserrat Community College, the staff at the Pupil Support Unit, and the teachers at the MSS, most of the classes were successfully conducted without the varied teaching, learning environment. The installation and commissioning of a generator at the school to service both the MSS and the MCC was a welcome relief. Special thanks to contractor Mr. Williams, Mr. Ryan, and the Ministry of Finance for the generator. The importance of having a generator at the school was confirmed on the second day of the CSEC exams when there was a power failure during the online exam. We were saved by the on-site generator. Student enrollment and attendance. The school year began on September 3rd, 2018. The student population then stood at 316, 158 boys and 158 girls. As usual, fluctuations in the population occurred over the school year. However, the number remained somewhat stable. The closing population was 319, 159 boys and 160 girls. The overall attendance is recorded as 93.5%. Students' performance and achievement. At CXC-CSEC, 53 students entered to write the CSEC exams this year. The students wrote a total of 352 subject entries in the 2018 CSEC examinations at general and technical proficiency levels. Grades 1 to 3 passes were obtained in 261 subject entries, yielding a pass rate of 74.1%, slightly down from the 75.8% average obtained in 2017. The top performers for these exams were Catrice Fenton, who achieved 10 of 10 subject areas, 100% passes, and Shekinah Irish, who achieved passes in 9 of 9 subject areas. 24 of the 50 students, 48% of them, who wrote 5 or more subjects, obtained passes in 5 or more subjects, including English and math. 68% of these students gained passes in at least 5 subject areas if math and English were not included. 5 English as a second language students wrote 5 or more subjects at CXC-CSEC. 2, or 40% of these students, obtained passes in 5 or more subjects, including English and math. There was a 2% decline in the performance of students in English A and a 4% decline in math over the recorded period. A strengthening of the program and a focus on reducing anxiety in math in particular will be an area of focus to affect the necessary improvement in this subject area. Skill sets. Students of the technical areas of industrial technology, building and electrical, technical drawing, as well as in PE and sports and agriculture, continue to excel in these areas. Students gained 100% passes in these subject areas. We believe more students should be encouraged to pursue these subjects and also general skill set development at the CXC-CSEC and CVQ levels. The world of work is rewarding skills at a far greater level, although a strong academic background remains a critical backbone to human development generally. CCSLC performance. The school continues to enter students for the exams at the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC level. Our results reveal that math and Spanish gained 100% pass rate. Social studies achieved a 94% pass rate, with 31% of the passes at the mastery level, while English achieved a pass rate of 71%. CCSLC provides another pathway to regionally recognized certification for our students. Our increasingly good results make it an opportune time to make the necessary provisions to embed these exams as part of the requirements at the MSS. End-of-year exams. Madam Chair, the school's end-of-year examinations have just been completed. A quick analysis of the results revealed that the girls continue to generally outperform the boys. 71.8% of the top places were taken by girls. Additionally, for the first and second year cohorts, the average grades for the boys was a C, while girls were at a B-. Collectively, there needs to be a refocusing of efforts on our boys, especially as they make up the majority in the lower streams across the school. The results also show that students in the lower school are doing twice as well in math as compared to English. As a home and school community, there is an urgent need to get our children reading more again. The overall best performing class was Form 4-1. All the students obtained acceptable grades in the end-of-year exams and returned a pass rate of 100%. The lowest grade for this entire class is B-. The average grade for the girls was B+, while boys averaged B. Congratulations are extended to all students, their parents, and their teachers who continue to prepare and encourage our children, especially for exams. Please do continue to strive for excellence and success. Other student activities. Madam Chair, the school encourages and helps its students to engage in activities which are enriching. This year, an extra effort was made to provide activities which were both educational and engaging. It was recognized that these activities would give children much needed respite from the less than ideal physical space constraints at our school site. These activities included: 1, the 80th anniversary exhibition. Parents, guardians, and members of the public were treated to an array of students' work during the exhibition in December 2018. Displays of fresh agricultural produce, poultry, pork, a fully functioning greenhouse, jams, jellies, and other preservatives from the Food and Nutrition Department, displays of art pieces, craft items, various woodwork items, including the boat building in progress, science exhibits, along with students' work in math, English, IT, electricity, and geography were made available for viewing. The leadership and communication skills of the student leaders were demonstrated as they efficiently and effectively guided parents and well-wishers through the various exhibits. The impact of the training received as student leaders was seen in the efficiency of our tour guides. Asma Mohammed's contribution stood out as outstanding. One can also recall Sidney Menzies' detailed presentation on the functioning of the greenhouse. The tasty lunches prepared by the food and nutrition students under the watchful eye of their teacher, Ms. Jones, is worthy of note. Our sincerest appreciation to Miss Jones, as well as to Mr. Castle and Miss Ethan Collins, who coordinated the exhibition, and to all teachers, students, and office staff for their hard work and commitment, which resulted in a successful exhibition. Performing arts. Items from the performing arts, music and drama, were shared during our mini concert at the school as part of the exhibition in December 2018. The MSS Drama Club participated in the Antigua and Barbuda Secondary School Theatre Arts Festival. One of the students, Kyle James, received an award for Outstanding Upcoming Actor, while the teacher, Miss Ethan Collins, was awarded for an outstanding script. It is anticipated that the Montserrat community will be afforded the opportunity to see the piece that was presented in Antigua during this month of July. Congratulations to the Drama Club and sincerest appreciation to Miss Collins and her students for a job well done. And please mark your calendars for one of the events culminating the 80th anniversary celebrations as a triathlon, which is scheduled for July 10th, 2019, is expected to be very exciting. Sports, sporting activities, and extracurricular activities. Blue House again took top honors at the MSS MAAA Sports Meet and is a champion house for 2018-2019. The victor and victress Ladorum are Aidan Liven and Anisha Turner, respectively. The boys and girls road races held prior to the sports day were won by Mark Rogers and Anisha Turner, respectively. Our sincere gratitude as well to all the persons who served the school in the various capacities for Sports Day, and all who made donations and supported the school as customary during its annual sporting event. Football. The first MSS Football League was held during Term 2. The champions were Stars United. The first runner-up was the Young Predators. CJL Rodney scored the most goals. Ridge Samuel was adjudged the most outstanding player, while Josiah Passad was the most outstanding goalkeeper. Our sincerest gratitude to Mr. Duke and his team, and the President and Montserrat Football Association for their support. Basketball. The annual MSS Basketball League, which serves as a school-based assessment for the PE and sports CSEC students, was held during Term 1. In this, our 80th year, we were very fortunate to have the entire league sponsored by the Bank of Montserrat Limited, as they celebrated 80 years with us. The MBL Rhinos were winners of the tournament. We expect the PE and sports students to continue the good record of returns in the CSEC exams, given exposure to good practical skills. A much appreciated thank you to the Bank of Montserrat Limited for the commitment to our PE students. Commonwealth Day 2019. A connected MSS was our adopted theme for this year's Commonwealth Day, with the international observations. A parade, exhibition, and mini concert were organized for the day. The students at the school, who represent some 50 nationalities, had the chance to share a little bit of their culture. Importantly, the Commonwealth Day activities gave the school the opportunity to say thanks to the Montserrat community for its support over the 80 years of the school's existence. Extracurricular activities. The other well-established extracurricular activities at MSS include cadets, facilitated by the Royal Montserrat Defence Force, and netball under the supervision of Coach Valerie Samuel. All activities continued to offer our students skills for life. Anti-bullying symposium. We were privileged to interact with the members of the Montserrat Christian Council, the police, nurses, social workers, ICT Council, and parents of at least one bullied student as we paid attention to the impact that bullying has on the entire family. I wish to thank the presenters for an excellent job and to share with you that the reporting of incidents of bullying have been reduced. We anticipate further reduction in the coming year as the alertness and the awareness of bullying improves. Student behavior. I am pleased to report that the majority of the students at the MSS conduct themselves in an acceptable manner. This year, a small number of students displayed very worrying behaviors. I refer in particular to a group of fifth form boys whose unacceptable conduct included defiance, disrespect, repeated use of indecent language, loud playing of music containing poor lyrics, and this even during class time. We particularly deplore disruption of classes and exams, skipping classes, threatening behavior, and any assault on teachers and students. A number of youngsters were suspended repeatedly for these types of behaviors. We will report any further repeat occurrences directly to the school's disciplinary committee as our natural follow-up going forward. A decision was taken to exercise some exclusion of a number of our not so well-behaved boys from today's graduation exercise. This is to reinforce our high standards of behavior, which is expected at the MSS, and it is also expected to ready students for the world of work. The boys are seated among the students who are expected to graduate. They will, however, not be invited on stage to receive the symbolic certificate and to be congratulated for a job well done. I urge parents and the community to encourage our students to behave appropriately at all times and to support the steps taken to facilitate their holistic development. The younger students are looking on and will pattern their behavior from the older boys, and the responsible actions that we take as the adult role models and leaders in our community. Staffing. The school year began with a majority of staff in place. Over the year, however, some members of staff were unavailable due to ill health. We wish to thank teachers who responded and covered the classes for absent colleagues. The guidance counselor, Mr. Liston Skerritt, was transferred to youth and sports. Mrs. Hector served as guidance counselor until December 2018, when her tenure ended. She has volunteered her services when available since then. The absence of a guidance counselor denied students access to that essential support which is a requirement in all schools. In this regard, Ms. Nelson and the Child Protection Unit provided very valuable backstopping assistance to the school, for which we are extremely grateful. Mr. Carlon Brathwaite joined the staff to teach information technology. His tenure was short, as he ended his services to the school at the end of term 2. Ms. Ronald White joined the staff as an English language teacher. Mrs. Clandine Molyneux Ryan joined the staff as an executive officer. Ms. Tamar Agard joined the staff as clerical officer. Ms. Jamelia White joined the staff as laboratory technician, and Ms. Althea Ryan joined the staff as office attendant. Ms. Gloria Brown continued to head the pupil support unit. The expertise of Mr. Sylvester Brown and Mrs. Ethelyn Tellisford were utilized at the pupil support unit to assist students with special education needs. Departures. Madam Chair, at this time, I express sincerest gratitude to Ms. Gloria Brown, Mrs. Jamelia O'Brien, and Ms. Ethan Collins, who will be leaving at the end of the school year. The contributions made by these professionals have positively impacted the MSS and have shaped many young lives. They will be missed. Community support. The school is extremely grateful to the local community for the high level of support that continues to be of benefit to our school. I will highlight some of these external inputs. The various departments of government and private businesses which provided work experience for our students and invaluable information on various career paths for the third form students during career week. The business places and individuals who facilitated field trips and tours. The facilitators for the anti-bullying symposium. The Youth Affairs Department for their tireless work, primarily with our school leavers. And individuals and businesses who have provided prizes and awards to students in recognition of outstanding performances to be announced this afternoon. Message to graduates. Having now completed your 5 years at MSS, you are now required to consider what your next steps will be. It is hoped that most of you will pursue further and higher education. After all, it is essential that you gain some higher form of acceptable and appropriate qualifications if you are to pursue employment and optimal success in your chosen career. Others of you have already decided that you will enter the world of work. That experience could prove to be invaluable as well. Whichever path you choose to follow, give your best at all times. I urge you not to become complacent with your early successes. Lessons of life have taught us that during this emerging stage, failure walks side by side with success. If perchance you did not maximize one of your undertakings, do not be discouraged by your challenges. Learn from them. Reflect on the things that you could have done correctly and strengthen them if you can. For areas that you would have experienced some difficulty, seek advice. You will find that quite a number of persons will assist you. Your attitude and behavior will determine how much assistance you get and how quickly you advance. Remember that success is guaranteed when opportunity meets preparation. A word of caution, however, you need to surround yourself with positive persons, and you need to be strong enough to stand up and speak out against and distance yourself from what you know to be wrong. Do not allow yourself to be pulled along in whatever direction the more vocal among you wish to go. Take control of you. Give yourself the best chance at success. Your journey is yours to shape. The power to succeed is in your hands. So dream, believe, achieve, because he who does not progress retrogresses. Finally, acknowledgements. Madam Chair, I complete my record of thanks by extending sincerest gratitude to the staff and students at the MSS and the Pupil Support Unit who worked through challenging circumstances this year. Sincerest gratitude to the principal, staff, and students at the Montserrat Community College who provided us with much needed support and space for the conduct of our classes, and who gave us access to their building construction workshop. We are indeed anticipating this continued support in 2019-2020. Thanks in advance to the engineers, architects, and the supporting team at the Public Works Department, the project officer at the Ministry of Education, Ms. Cynthia Farrell, and her counterpart from DFID, Mr. Martin Bartlett, for the work that they're doing towards the improvement of the school plant and the physical environment ahead of the commencement of school in 2019. I wish also to record thanks to all persons who provided a range of services to make our school function every day, including the officials at the Ministry of Education. The school records its thanks to the executive and members of the Parent Teachers Association for their care, support, and encouragement. I thank you all, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mrs. Hogan, for that very detailed report. And we thank all of those, as mentioned by Mrs. Hogan, who have made contributions one way or the other to the Montserrat Secondary School. It was indeed a pleasure, Mrs. Hogan, to hear you mention that incidents of bullying have been reduced and there will be greater awareness raised where bullying is concerned. Remember, young men and women, our graduates of 2019, you are role models to the younger ones. So before you act, before you speak, think about who is looking. I also would like to reiterate some things Mrs. Hogan said. Surround yourself with positive persons. Take control of you, and the power to succeed is in your hands. There has been a slight change in our program. Instead of the Didi dancers providing us with entertainment, we will have Miss Tamara Egad, who will bless us with her beautiful voice.
Good afternoon, everyone. But victory or defeat, it's up to me to decide. How can I expect to win if I never try? I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I've started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Never said there wouldn't be trials, never said I wouldn't fall, never said that everything would go the way I want it to go. But when my back is against the wall and I feel all hope is gone, I just lift my hands up to the sky and say, help me to be strong. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I've started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. No, you didn't bring me out here to leave me lonely, even when I can't see clearly. I know that you are in me, so I can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. You just can't give up now. You've come too far from where you started from. Nobody told you that the road would be easy, and you can't believe he's brought you this far to leave you. You just can't give up now. You've come too far from where you started from. Nobody told you that the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought you this far to leave you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tamara. You just can't give up now. Success in life comes when you simply refuse to give up. Stay true to yourself, yet always be open to learn. Linda A.S. Diaz is a passionate innovator who has held the position of Chief Architect for the government of Montserrat since 2014. During this time, she has also established the architectural and graphic design firm Aeon Studios Limited, which specializes in producing culturally relevant design solutions within the region. As a proud member and the 2020 president-elect of the Rotary Club of Montserrat, Linda uses her time and skills to assist in enhancing the Montserrat community. She is a former board member of the Montserrat National Trust and has also previously held the position of Vice Chair of the Young Workers Committee of the Montserrat Civil Service Association. Linda has also received the Leadership and Interpersonal Skills Award for her work in the public service, and in 2012 was honored by Flow Montserrat for World Telecommunications and Information Society Day. Linda is also a former Chevening Scholar who is active in the local alumni. In February 2019, she founded the tech startup Bodio, a multi-award-winning mobile app that gives musicians and event promoters a platform to network internationally. On Monday, Linda will be assuming the position of Deputy Head of the Program Management Office in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Management. Congratulations, Linda. Where she hopes to discover ever more sophisticated and creative ways on how to develop Montserrat's infrastructure and socio-economical environment. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving a warm welcome to our keynote speaker, Ms. Linda Diaz.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And good afternoon, all. Protocol having already been established. Congratulations, MSS graduates. It's a great honor for me to stand here today as your keynote speaker. Admittedly, when I was asked to be the featured speaker today, I was a bit hesitant, primarily because I had no idea what to say to you guys. When I asked Mrs. Hogan how long I should speak for, she said, not long at all. You don't have to be long, just 20 minutes and you'll be fine. Now, upon hearing these words, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my goodness, does she not know how long 20 minutes is? That's like forever and a half. I've taken naps for 20 minutes and have felt quite refreshed afterwards. So I know how long 20 minutes can feel. With that being said, I will do my very best to keep this address under 20 minutes. Though, to be honest, I think this opening has helped to kill a minute or two already. Now, traditionally, I suppose a featured speaker at a graduation ceremony is expected to be inspiring and charming and engaging, and tell some anecdotal story that's supposed to drive you into the arms of success. But guess what? If I can achieve even 2 out of these 4 requirements, I will deem this speech a success. Now, I started to wonder how exactly I can relate to you. Then I started reflecting on how inspiring and insightful the commencement speech was during my graduation from MSS some years ago. And then it hit me. I cannot for the life of me remember who gave the speech, nor what they said. In fact, I actually don't remember much from my graduation. But what I do recall is making jokes with a classmate sitting next to me during the commencement speech, and Miss Althea Allen giving us dirty looks from the side. So instead, I started reflecting on how I felt in leaving secondary school. I recall that I was nervous about what the future held for me, as I had no clue where I wanted to be nor how to get there. I recall being unsure of what career path I wanted to take. I knew I loved art and design, so I figured I'd consider a career in architecture or graphic design, but wasn't quite sure I wanted to tie myself down to simply doing technical drawings of buildings for the rest of my life. Neither was I sure I wanted to invest my time into studying graphic design when at the time it didn't seem like there was much of a market for graphic designers in Montserrat. However, that uncertainty changed when I was placed at the Public Works Department for a month for my work experience after graduation. I worked alongside architects, engineers, technicians, and learned exactly what architecture is about. I learned that it wasn't about technical drawing, but instead responding to the social needs of a society. I learned that it wasn't about designing houses, but instead about framing spaces. But alas, I shan't get into details about architecture, but I can assure you we'll be here definitely for more than 20 minutes. Now, upon speaking with one of the architects at Public Works, who then became my mentor and who is still my mentor to this day, he assured me that no architect, no true architect, likes the idea of being tied down to a single activity. No architect has ever been 100% sure that they wanted to be an architect when there are so many different attractive careers in design out there. This assurance offered me much comfort to my indecisiveness. It was in this moment that I decided that architecture was a career for me. Alternatively, I remember I had a friend who, for as long as I knew her, had always wanted to be a doctor. All throughout primary school and during our 5 years at secondary school, there was nothing that could sway her from her chosen pathway of being a doctor. However, I recall when she went on work experience at the Glennon Hospital, within 1 month that she was there, she switched careers 3 times. 1 week she wanted to be an ultrasound specialist, another week it was a medical technologist, and another week it was something else. After all of these years of being sure that she wanted to be a doctor, it turns out that what she actually was interested in was the field of medicine, not necessarily the career of being a medical doctor. I'm saying this to mention that sometimes we think we're sure of what we want, but when we become exposed to a world beyond our imagination, our interests can change. Alternatively, sometimes we have no clue where we want to be, and all it takes is for someone to say, "That's fine, you don't have to decide now," to actually make us disregard that advice and make a decision in a moment. By the way, the same friend is actually a successful nurse in the UK, in case you're wondering. So why have I just mentioned that anecdotal story? Well, to let you know that if you're unsure about life and your future right now, that's okay. Life will expose you to a number of experiences, some good, some bad, some memorable, and some you probably might not want to tell your children later on in life. The more you're exposed to in life is the more your interests will change. Embrace new experiences, and don't be restricted by the coastline of the Emerald Isle. There's a world out there beyond the shores of Montserrat, a world that you can contribute to and improve. Don't be restricted by your academics, your abilities, nor of your social status. Let no one choose your path in life but you. Now, some of you may be heading off to sixth form, or university, or delving right into the working world. Whichever path you choose, always ensure that you're happy. If you're unsatisfied, change it. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. Consider new routes to success. If you're a lawyer who wants to be a scientist, do it. If you're a mechanic who wants to get into basket making, why not? If you're an accountant who wants to delve into lion taming, go for it. Just make sure you know what you're doing first. Please don't jump into the lion's den and think, blimey, I didn't really train enough or research about this enough. Hey, I'm an architect who just started a tech company this year for a mobile app for performance in the music industry. Now, the interesting thing about this is that I am not an app developer, and I have about as much musical talent as a turkey. But I had an idea for an app, and I decided to pursue that idea. I did my research, I consulted the right people for feedback, and now the same app, Bodio, is a multi-award winning app recognized by music artists all over the world. I'll say it again. Don't be restricted by your academics, your abilities, nor of your social status. Okay, how are we doing for time? Have we reached 20 minutes yet? No? Okay. That's all right, I'll still think of a few more inspiring things. Now, I must confess, I'm a gamer. I don't mean like Candy Crush and Words with Friends. I'm actually more into games like Mortal Kombat and Call of Duty, Resident Evil. In fact, at one point, I actually wanted to be an architectural consultant for video game developers. You know, all those creative environments where your avatar has to venture through to get to each level. Yeah, that was an interest of mine. And secretly still is, but I digress. Anyway, I'm also a comic book lover. When it comes to comic franchises, I'm more of a DC fan, but I must admit Marvel has the better films. So why am I telling you this? Well, I also find that superheroes tend to have some of the best and most inspiring quotes. For example, Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man franchise once said, "Intelligence is a privilege, and it needs to be used for the greater good of people." So I encourage each of you to use your intellect, use your skills, and use your talents to be good citizens of this world. If you see a void that you can fill, do it. And don't even hesitate about it. Do your part to contribute to Montserrat's development. Your part can be either on the ground, driving progress, or it can be from a distance contributing in other ways. Commissioner Jim Gordon from the Batman comic books once said, "You're going to make a difference. A lot of times it won't be huge, it won't be visible even, but it will matter just the same." So I say to you here today, always try to make a step forward in your lives. No matter where you are or how successful you become, never settle. Even if you reach the apex of your career, there's always something else that can be done for your personal and professional development. Now, the theme for your speech day ceremony is dream, believe, achieve. So I'd like you to dream. Dream about the possibilities that are out there waiting for you. Dream about where you can be in 10, 15, 20 years from now. Every single day, work towards them. Dream that your long-term aspirations are as achievable as your daily goals. I want you to believe. Believe that your dream will be a reality one day. Once you stay focused, stay grinding. Believe that your only limitation is the extent of your dreams. Believe that you will make a difference. I need you to achieve. Your parents, your friends, your colleagues, your island needs you to achieve. Contribute to the progress of this nation, to put this little island on the map in whatever way you can. Achievement seems to be connected with action. Successful men and women keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. Who you are tomorrow begins with what you do today. That's a quote by Tim Fargo. I'm not quite sure who Tim is, but he sounds like a reasonable fella. So don't be intimidated by your future. Grab it by the collar and act on your potential. Your potential is not an endpoint, but a capacity to grow and learn. Your career doesn't have to be a life sentence. There's a saying, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Now, there will be difficult times, but always ensure that what you're doing makes you happy. Maybe you started out in a career that made you happy, but 10 years later you'd like to go in a different direction. Do it. Each of you are leaving here today, a graduate of the Montserrat Secondary School. You now have in your hands the power to do anything in your life. You have the power to make a difference in this world, so do it. Just remember that with this gift of power, it is expected that you dream, you believe, you achieve. Because, as Uncle Ben from Spider-Man once said, with great power comes great responsibility. Congratulations, class of 2019. Live long and prosper.
I can always trust Linda to bring some humor in anything she does, easing whatever tension there may be in a room. Let us give Ms. Diaz another round of applause for that absolutely brilliant speech. Don't be restricted by your academic abilities nor your social status. Let no one choose your path but you. Because deep down, you know the right way to go and the right thing to do. So graduates, always follow your heart. Believe that what you dream will be a reality once you stay focused and stay grinding. Believe that your only limitation is the extent of your dreams. Believe that you will make a difference. We now continue with the program by music from MSS students led by Mr. McLeod White. Thank you very much, Mr. McLeod White and MSS students. We will... You're not finished? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. I would like to invite to the podium again Mrs. Shirlene Hogan for the presentation of certificates to our graduates.
Good afternoon, everybody. Madam Principal, I present to you the graduating class of 5-1. Tavik Benjamin. Isaiah Francis. Jordash George. Joshua Golden. Stefan Harris. Silford Moore. David Owen. Devon Sweeney. Rhonda Allen. Angelique Castle. Indira Critchlow. Akela Davis. Asma Mohammed. Beyonce Osborne. Dariona Osborne. Nikisha Scotland. Tiffany Weeks. Form 5-1. Madam Principal, I present to you the graduating class of 5-2. Tyrese Hertzman. Rajay Jackson. Dwight Lee. Albert Peters. Josue Pozo. Mark Rogers. Gamal Scotland. Kristen Ryan. Jordan Ryan. Shannon White. Anjali KB. Tananya Eshe. Ashante Fenton. Sarian Grinaway. Jada John. Serena Lear. Juanice Ryan. Laurelyn Ryan. Nia St. Clair. Form 5-2. Madam Principal, I present to you the graduating class of 5-3. Antonio Brown. Rajay Gale. Joel Irish. Jamal Ryan. Carleen Brown. Shamika Corbett. Diana Daniel. Romania Gerald. Sarlene Gibbons. Triola Green. Joanny Lewis. Alexandra Mercedes Mota. Melvelina Chuit. Anna K. Turner. Class 5-3. Madam Principal, I present to you the graduating class of 5-4. Devion Babaram. Alberto Ben. Javier Letford. Jose Reynolds. And Carlos Valas Sanchez. Form 5-4.
Thank you, Mrs. Hogan. We would now like to invite Mr. Wilston Scotland, the father of today's valedictorian, for the presentation of subject awards.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. With all protocol being observed, Madam Chair, I present to you the prizes and awards for outstanding students in various categories. For the area of mathematics for Form 5-1, sponsored by Mr. Desmond Gray, this award goes to Miss Nikisha Scotland. Most outstanding student for Form 5-2 for mathematics, sponsored by Mr. Roosevelt Gemot, goes to Mr. Jordan Ryan. Also for Form 5-2, most dedicated and consistent worker goes to Miss Serena Laird, sponsored by Jackie Ryan Enterprises. Most outstanding students in mathematics for Form 5-3 goes to Mr. Antonio Brown, sponsored by MSS. Followed by most diligent worker for Form 5-3 in mathematics, sponsored by Golden Arrowhead Association, goes to Miss Triola Green. Most outstanding math students for Form 5-4 goes to Mr. Jose Reynolds, sponsored by MSS. Followed by most diligent student for mathematics, Form 5-4, sponsored by MSS, goes to Mr. Alberto Ben. For the area of English language, The most out student goes to Miss Nikisha Scotland, sponsored by Miss Joanna Richards. Also for the area of Spanish, this also goes to Miss Nikisha Scotland, sponsored by MSS. The other Spanish award for most consistent worker goes to Miss Tiffany Weeks, sponsored by Bank of Montserrat. Integrated Science, Form 5-2. Most Improved Award goes to Miss Nia St. Clair, sponsored by Dr. Selvin Maloney. Integrated Science, Form 5-3, Most Outstanding Worker goes to Mr. Antonio Brown, sponsored by Montserrat Defense Force. Followed by Most Dedicated Worker, which goes to Miss Triola Green, sponsored by MSS. The French? The French Award for Most Outstanding Worker, sponsored by the Bank of Montserrat, goes to Miss Beyonce Osborne. Most Improved Worker in French goes to Miss Acalia Davis, and this is sponsored by Bank of Montserrat. Most Outstanding Students in the area of chemistry goes to Miss Nikisha Scotland, sponsored by Economic Bakery. Most Consistent Worker in chemistry goes to Miss Tiffany Weeks, sponsored by Lee's Pharmacy. For the area of biology, this award goes to Miss Nikisha Scotland for most outstanding student, and this is sponsored by Montserrat Defense Force. This is followed by the Physics Award, Also for most outstanding students, and of course, it goes to Nikisha Scotland. Physics, dedicated and consistent student. This goes to Miss Tiffany Weeks, sponsored by DR Diagnostic Services. Social Studies, Form 5-1. Most outstanding student goes to Mr. Tevik Benjamin. Sponsored by Bank of Montserrat. Social Studies, Form 5-2. Most improved worker goes to Miss Nia Sinclair. Sponsored by Dunamis Products and Services. Social Studies, Form 5-2. Most diligent worker. This award goes to Miss Serena Laird, sponsored by Bank of Montserrat. Social Studies, Form 5-3. Most consistent worker goes to Miss Shamika Corbett, sponsored by MSS. Geography, most outstanding students goes to Mr. David Owen, sponsored by MSS. For the area of accounts, most outstanding student goes to Miss Akelia Davis, sponsored by BBC Radio and TV. Also for the Business Award for most outstanding student, this goes to Miss Akelia Davis, sponsored by Tradewinds Real Estate. EDPM, most outstanding student, goes to Miss Beyonce Osborne, sponsored by Bank of Montserrat. EDPM outstanding students goes to Miss Rhonda Allen, sponsored by MSS. EDPM, most consistent worker, goes to Mr. Antonio Brown, sponsored by MSS. EDPM Most Improved Worker goes to Miss Nia St. Clair, sponsored by MSS. Office Administration, Most Outstanding Student, Miss Serena Laird, sponsored by Miss Siobhan Tewitt. Theatre Arts, Outstanding Student also goes to Miss Serena Laird, sponsored by MSS. Theatre Arts, Most Outstanding Student goes to Miss Rhonda Allen, sponsored by MSS. Visual Arts, Most Outstanding Student goes to Miss Nikisha Scotland, sponsored by MSS. Food and Nutrition, Most Outstanding Student. This award goes to Miss Tiffany Weeks, sponsored by MSS. Food and Nutrition, Outstanding Students goes to Miss Laurelyn Ryan, sponsored by Miss Manelva Taylor Benjamin.
The Campbell Award, donated by Mrs. Tricia Campbell, to the student with commendable work, Antonio Brown. The most committed student in music, donated by the Bank of Montserrat, Alberto Bena. The award for diligence in electronic and electrical technology, sponsored by Honorable Paul Weiss, Stephen Harris. The Richard Aspin Award for the most outstanding student in electronic and electrical technology, sponsored by Mr. Ivan Piper, Gamal, Scotland. The Diligent Student Award in Technical Drawing, sponsored by the Galloway Group, Incorporated, David Owen. Mrs. Veronica Hector Dorset's Award for the hardworking student in building construction, Alberto Ben. Dorset and Associates Award for the diligent student in building construction, Jose Reynolds. The top female student for core components in PE and sports, sponsored by the Volleyball Association, Nikisha, Scotland. The top female student for sports, donated by Social Security, Tiffany Weeks. The top male student for core components in PE and sport, donated by the Montserrat Volleyball Association, Tevik Benjamin. The Montserrat Union of Teachers awards the boy in the graduating class who has displayed exemplary conduct, deportment, punctuality, and attendance. Tyrese Hertzman. Ashok Supermarket Award to the overall business student, Akela Davis. The Honorable Easton Farrell Taylor Award to the overall humanities student, Triola Green. overall science student, sponsored by MSS, Nikisha Scotland. The Jermaine Wade Award to the outstanding student in leadership goes to Asma Mohammed. The award for the student leadership, sponsored by Bishop Melroy Mead, Salin Gibbons. I invite Mr. Jermaine Wade, the president of the Rotary Club, to present this next award. The award by the Rotary Club of Montserrat to the student who lives by their four-way test: truthfulness, fairness, fosters friendship, and is generous. Miss Nia Sinclair. Thank you, Mr. Wade. The MSS PTA presents the award to the student who shows leadership skills and has a hard-working attitude in a school-based program. Tiffany Weeks. The MSS PTA also presents an award to a student who rises above all challenges, Alberto Ben. The Best Cadet of the Year, sponsored by MSS Cadet Corps, Private Dinari Sarah. Dinari. Best Cadet NCO, sponsored by MSS Cadet Corps, Petty Officer Eldina Ogaro. the Montserrat Overseas People's Progressive Alliance presents an award to the top female student, Nikisha Scotland. The Montserrat Overseas People's Progressive Alliance also presents an award to the top male student, David Owen. The Bank of Montserrat Top Student Award to Miss Nikisha Scotland. We have awards for the first and second place students in fifth form. 5-1. First place, Nikisha Scotland. Second place, Tiffany Wicks. Form 5-2, first place, Serena Laird. Second place, Gamal Scotland. Form 5-3, first place, Triola Green. Second place, Joanne Lewis. Form 5-4, first place, Jose Reynolds. Second place, Tavier Letford. I now invite a representative from Delta Petroleum to present the next award. Okay, Mr. Scotland, you'll help us out there. So we have the Delta Petroleum Award for the valedictorian, Miss Nikisha Scotland. And remain there. We also have the Valedictorian Award, sponsored by Honorable Premier Donaldson Romeo, Nikisha Scotland. Thank you very much, Mr. Scotland. We have prizes for the outstanding performances in the May-June 2018 CSEC examinations. We invite Mrs. Hogan to present these prizes. Thank you, Mrs. Hogan. 10 subject passes, Miss Catrice Fenton. Would she or her representative? Nine subject passes, Shekinah Irish. Eight subject passes, Kenita Bazi, Kijari Bazi, Jennifer Farrell, Yannick Henry, Jade Holder, Shanika Jarvis, Sydney Bofong, Ronell Lewis, Eldina Okaro, Jaden Ryan, Shanae Taylor Lee. Shanae Taylor Lee. Seven subject passes, Anderson Alerte, Sonia Gail KB, Amari Jeffers, Joanna Lee, Daniel Martin, Ronika Sweeney, Shamari Wicks, Kyra West. 6 subject passes. Vernique Fenton, Ashanti Francis, and Zarana Ogaro. 5 subject passes. Ravina Benny, Tonica Greenaway, Bridget Lucienne, Jody Astai, Shania Wicks, and Rondine Daly. Thank you, Mrs. Hogan, for presenting these prizes. I now pass on to you, Mrs. Chair, to continue.
Thank you, Ms. Jean-Baptiste. We continue the program with our valedictorian speech from Ms. Nikisha Scotland.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Montserrat Secondary School's 2019 graduation ceremony, or the Montserrat Secondary School's annual release of prisoners, whichever you prefer. Now, farmmates, I know you probably can't wait to go home and finally be done with school, but hear me out. Firstly, I would like to thank the Almighty Father for all the blessings that He has given me. I also want to thank my family and friends who have helped me along the way, and the teachers who have been a part of my 5-year journey. Special thanks to Mr. Randy Greenaway for all of his assistance with maths and physics. Thanks to Mr. Scanterbury for being such an incredible teacher and for accomplishing the impossible, making us actually want to come to school on a Saturday. And thanks to Mr. Duke for all the fun times we've had as an Ink Invasion family. Persons keep telling me that they can't believe 5 years have passed already, and quite frankly, neither can I. When we started MSS, none of us could imagine having to go through so much stress. We've faced many challenges, from not having teachers to having teachers that weren't cut out for the job. We've dealt with the lack of basic necessities like classrooms and even toilet paper in the bathrooms, and the fact that the administration seems to have a vendetta against our farm. I mean, why is it that as soon as it's our turn to graduate, final assembly is cancelled, and we're deprived of our chance? And we're deprived of our chance to get our shirts signed by all our friends and teachers. Anyways, we've overcome all these hurdles, and I'm surprised we don't have more gray hairs to show for it. Mind you, we weren't saints, and our teachers probably have as many gray hairs as us. Thankfully, though, there were a lot of fun times to balance out the negative, like when the boys took over PE block with their car wash, big up to the gen of them, or all the pranks we've pulled on teachers and friends. We also can't forget all the field trips we've been on, like the time Miss Catagrinaway took the Set 1 maths class to all the banks and then bought us ice cream, the French class's trip to Guadeloupe, the agri class's trip to a farm, and when Mr. Wilson took our physics class to Salient Park to carry out an experiment. I certainly can't forget the day that the current went in ICT class, so Mr. Lee took us for a walk. I swear, I used to prefer current to go every day after that. We also can't forget the different form classes we've been in, and neither health class, when Miss James used to have us keeling over with laughter. And I'm sure we'll all cherish the personal memories that we've had with our friends. Today is now our last day as MSS students. For some, it's merely a switch from white and maroon or khaki to white and blue, while for others, it's the last time you'll be wearing a school uniform. Continue to work hard and excel in whatever you do. I wish all of you good luck in the future, and I hope we don't lose track of each other. Personally, I am nowhere near ready for adulthood yet, and this whole new chapter of our lives thing scares me. Mainly because I have no idea what it entails, and I don't exactly know what I want it to. For those who are unsure like me, I like to believe that God laughs when we make set plans, for He's the only one that knows our future. So for now, we can listen to T.D. Jakes, and he said, if you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion, for your passion will lead right to your purpose. And for those that already have it all planned out, don't get too bent on having the perfect future. Think about it. A roller coaster with many twists and turns is a lot more exciting than a straight one. So, to close off, class of 2019, remember all the memories we've had together, even the stressful ones, so we have something to tell our grandchildren. Don't worry about the future too much, because one, ain't nobody got hair dye money to color back the gray hair them, and two, it's not entirely in our control. Just live in the present and make it awesome, because trust me, life is too short to not live our best lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nikisha. Just a quick announcement, the students who are part of the graduation choir, please proceed backstage quietly. A valedictorian's goal is to inspire her classmates to live the comfort and security of their school, ready to embark on new and exciting adventures. Nikisha echoed this when she mentioned, it is merely a switch from maroon and white to blue and white, and some of you, it will be the last time you will be wearing a school uniform. For those of you who are scared and you can't figure out the purpose, figure out your passion. Also, a roller coaster with twists and turns is better than a straight one. Let us give another round of applause for our valedictorian, Miss Nikisha Scotland. While we await the entertainment from our graduates, I would like to reach out to the parents and teachers. Parents, your contribution to the success of the graduates here tonight cannot go unnoticed. You have been pillars of support, guidance, and love from the day they were born. Continue to inspire them and encourage them to be the best that they can be. Teachers, we do appreciate your role as a teacher in helping to shape the lives of our young ones, not only imparting knowledge, but wisdom and morality as well. Give yourselves a hand.
They said we wouldn't make it so far, and ever since they said it, it's been hard. But never mind the nights we had to cry, 'cause we will never let it go inside.
You work real hard and you know exactly what you want and need, so believe, 'cause you can never give up. You can reach your goals. Just talk to your soul and say,
I believe I can, I believe I will, I believe I know my dreams are real. I believe I'll stand, I believe I'll dance, I believe I'll grow real soon, and that is what I do believe.
your goals are just the things in your soul are, and you know that your moves will let them show. You keep creating pictures in your mind, so just believe they will come through in time. It will be fine. Leave all of your cares and stress behind. Just let it go. Let the music flow inside. Forget your pain and just start to believe.
I believe
I believe I can.
I believe I know
No, my dreams are real.
I believe
Hey, I gotta dance.
that is what I do believe.
And never mind what people say. Hold your head high and turn away. With all my hopes and dreams, I will believe, even though it seems not for me. I won't give up. I'll keep it up. Look into the sky. I will achieve all my needs. I will always believe.
I believe I can, I believe I can, I believe I know my dreams are real. I believe I'll stand, I believe I'll dance, I believe I'll grow real soon, and that is what I do believe. I believe I can, I believe I will, I believe I know my dreams are real. I believe I'll stand, I believe I'll dance, I believe I'll grow real soon, and that is what I do believe. I believe I can, I believe I will, I believe I know my dreams are real. I believe I'll stand, I believe I'll dance, I believe I'll grow real soon, and that is what I do believe.
Thank you so much to our graduating class choir. Let us give them another round of applause, I believe. We will now invite a few student leaders to present tokens.
Mr. Scotland, on behalf of the management, staff, and students of the MSS, we wish to extend congratulations to you and family on the achievements of your daughter, Nikisha. It shows that you have done an excellent job with her. Thank you as well for so ably presenting the prizes and awards. We wish you great and family greater successes in the future.
Ms. Diaz, on behalf of the management, staff, and students at the Montserrat Secondary School, we wish to thank you for doing such a great job at encouraging and inspiring students today. Thank you for those powerful words and the challenge that we should dream big and work hard to achieve our goals. Keep inspiring young people in Montserrat. Ms. John Baptist, can you kindly take the stage? On behalf of the management, staff, and students of the Montserrat Secondary School, we wish to express thanks to you for so ably taking charge of this evening's proceedings. We wish you all the best in your endeavors and look forward to working with you in the future.
I would like to invite the chemistry class of 5-1 to the stage. And also Mr. Scanterbury. On behalf of our class, we would like to present you with this gift to thank you for the 3 years that you have taught us.
Isaac. What? Oh, all right.
We are now winding down at this year's graduation ceremony for the Montserrat Secondary School, and it is my pleasant duty to now call on Miss Tiffany Wicks, who will present the vote of thanks for the evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am extremely honored to have been given the opportunity to present the vote of thanks on behalf of the principal, staff, and students of the Montserrat Secondary School. First, we express thanks to the Almighty Father for making this event possible. Heartfelt thanks are in order to the chair of this evening's proceedings, Ms. Jean-Baptiste, for ensuring the efficient flow of the program. We say thanks to the MSS Cadet Corps and team for displaying such excellent form, and to Ms. Patricia Moody for taking the inspection, to Mr. White and the MSS musicians for the procession song, to Pastor Tony Allen for invoking the presence of God, Keturah Daly for welcoming our chair and setting the precedents for the evening, Ms. Tamara Egard for the wonderful entertainment, to the students who assisted in presenting the tokens, and to my fellow graduates for the entertainment piece. We wish to thank our principal, Mrs. Hogan, for the report and for all her words of encouragement and for her patience during our 5 years at the school. To our keynote speaker, Ms. Linda Diaz, we have been inspired by your words of encouragement and your charge to press ahead. I can assure that your words will be kept close to the heart. Mr. Scotland, I've never called him that, a day in my life, I call him Coach. We thank you for graciously assisting with the presentation of the awards, and to my dear friend Nikki, on behalf of the graduating class of 2019, we extend congratulations to you on being this year's valedictorian. Thank you for your reflective thoughts and your honest, encouraging words for our future endeavors, whatever they may be. This graduation would not have been possible without the contribution of many of you from the private and public sector who have assisted us in various ways. In the interest of time, thank you to those who donated trophies and prizes for this event. Thanks are in order to the team in charge of decoration, as well as to Mrs. Castle, Mrs. Patterson, and the rest of the graduation committee, teachers, office staff, all who assisted with logistics and who have worked tirelessly to make this day successful, not forgetting our principal and vice principal. On a personal note, I would like to thank God for bestowing me with wisdom and my capabilities and for guiding me through my journey. Also to my parents, siblings, grandparents, and other family members for helping me build my foundation and for being my #1 supporters and source of strength. To my teachers and the management of MSS for making my 5 years at MSS a worthwhile journey. Dear colleagues, I would like to endorse the theme, Dream, Believe, and Achieve. If I have failed to directly thank anyone, please rest assured knowing that your contribution has not gone unnoticed. Thank you, one and all. Do have a pleasant evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of 2019.